Вечерний Уфа. The evening Ufa. Or Ufa the evening.
Yeah.
What is the right translation?
The evening Ufa.
The evening Ufa. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my first newspaper. Then I had to change Ufa the newspaper for other papers, and even I worked as a special reporter of one paper which is called Tourist News. The Tourist News.
The Tourist News.
Tourist News. But it was not connected with the area of Ufa, but with the whole USSR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even our paper was sent and read in abroad. And it issued more than 100,000. More than 100,000 issue.
Wow.
Because its issue was included, yeah.
Okay. I also, let's see, now that you're standing up, I also...
A
little more tea.
I'm sorry? Oh, it's your phone.
It's my phone. That's fine, mine. But I wanted to ask you to tell me again about your shirt. Because as we've talked before, you're a really extremely happy person. I'll just kind of go in.
I wouldn't say that I'm an extremely happy person, but I should say I'm better say a creative person.
Yeah.
Who carries ideas and fulfills them. His dreams. Well, sometimes I achieve to fulfill my aims.
Just with that.
My dreams, and I'm happy when I able.
And could you tell me? Well, first, explain to me your formula for happiness, or why you decided to make a shirt for it. And after, I would like to hear a little about your dream. Your dreams that you try to fulfill.
Well, first of all, I thought it of
your shirt.
Yeah, not shirt, but the formula itself. Because I found it for myself is interesting. What was it?
Oh no, it's fine.
Well, I found for myself that it was interesting. Then I thought that it might have been interesting for many people, for them to think of happiness. What the basic things that make people happy.
Yeah.
And for them to know. Besides, not in the USA, Europe, it's popular to advertise firms and whatnot, football teams on people's shirts. Get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I meet many people with many different shirts, with many different letters, names. That's why in this field I didn't open the Europe. I was not the first to open Europe, but I was the one who came to do it himself, by himself. by himself, with no help from other people. I think this is my good achievement, because it is marked in my book first, then it follows in my shirt, and I hope it will gain wide the area through the mass media, through you and through the press. It's my hope.
Could you explain me what the formula, what the parts of your formula are again?
Well, just ask for the beginning with the letters.
Let's go start.
C, S.
S. We have the S.
S. S is happiness. Happiness. The beginning of the word happiness.
Okay. And then we have obrazovanie.
Obrazovanie is knowledge.
And then we
education and knowledge. Obrazovanie.
And then we have professia.
Profession, work, profession, work, job.
Работа.
Yeah, работа, job.
Работа. And семейное.
Семейное состояние. Family condition. Married or unmarried, just bachelor, or it depends.
And then we have times the Ulrika
Ulrika, the smile of fortune. The smile of fortune. Or shall we use the definite article? Well, smile or the smile of fortune?
The smile.
The smile of fortune. With a definite article.
Okay. And then we have the, and that's here in plus. And so then we have the Shiroki Krug Viernych Друзей.
The wide circle of true friends.
Yeah.
The wide circle of true friends.
Yeah. And then down below we have the negatives. We've got Pomiehi Zavisnikov Vargov.
Vargov. Interference, obstacles or interference of those who envy and
jealous. You said.
Jealous people and enemies. Jealous people and enemies. They interfere.
And then you down below you have the Bolesny и несчастные случаи.
Illness and accidents, accidents, but to say connected with health.
Accidents,
yeah.
And illness also works. And then that's plus this one. And then we have the отношения к родственникови и измены друзей.
Yeah. Attitude of relations, relatives, and betrayal of friends.
Yeah.
Alas, but such things do happen in our life.
Right. And so what the whole formula is happiness is the positives here divided by the negatives here. And then if you have a positive number here, then you'll have a positive degree of happiness. Or you would have a negative degree of happiness if these are greater. But we have here, the official title is the Formula for Happiness.
Formula of Happiness by Firdaus
Ziganshin. And of course this is Firdaus Ziganshin, so his formula. Now we are also saying, I asked if you were happy, and you said not so much happy as you were creative. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a bit how you say you're not really happy, but you're creative?
Well, it's a good question, I should say. But entirely and wholly, I feel happy, but not quite in that size what I wished I would like to be. You see, somewhere I'm happy, but in my life as I lived for more than 70 years, and I went for sports, and I chose good profession of a writer or journalist. Then I have a son. Well, I was married. I have a son, and soon I'm going to be one more time happy when I become a grandfather. So besides, I have some true friends. Yes, and of course those who envy. Well, how did you
jealous?
Jealous. Of course, some people are jealous. Some people. Of course, it's natural.
Tell me about your dreams. You were saying just a minute ago. You mentioned your dreams. What you would like. I guess what you would like to happen, or what are your dreams?
Well, I think once I said one of my dreams like this.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people, the whole mankind, suffer from the climate change. But I would like to change for the better. People change for the better in their souls and hearts.
Oh,
Get me?
Yeah.
I'd like to. This is my cherished desire, my dream. I said about it, about this dream in our radio. It was
okay. How can we do that for the Russian people? For the Russian people, how can you give them happiness in their soul? Because many Russian people are very happy and optimistic, but many are very negative towards all things Russia, and they complain about there is no Russian culture. All Russian culture is borrowed. They say this, of course, in English, as they are really following their heart towards other cultures. So they demonstrate the borrowing of other culture as they criticize how Russia is going downhill because it's just full of borrowed culture. So they're demonstrating it. My question is, what can be done? What can be done for the Russian people, for people of Bashkiria, because you guys are a bit more friendly than people in, say, Moscow, but at the same time, you guys see less of a need to know foreign languages, less of a belief of international relations here, whereas in the West, in Moscow, they're very rude to each other, but they still feel that there's a need of international business, international exchange, and communication. What would you suggest for the Russian people? How to get closer to this happiness in their soul?
How to come over, yeah?
Yeah. How to overcome these material frustrations and make Russia a richer place?
Well, again, good question. Well, to achieve these overcomings, we have to change the system of governing. We have the clean and elections, clean, legislative elections, and clever men to govern the country, the country, and to change some things in law, connected with law, medicine, sports, and life itself. And to achieve this, I think will take some 10 or 20 years, more 20 years, for people to realize these all things, to change the leaders, to have clever leaders.
Okay.
I think these are the basic things.
Okay, then I guess one last question, and I should probably go. But in your life, you've had a very full life, and even if you think you're more creative than you are happy, and that you are more creative in compensating for problems, maybe they haven't been able to travel abroad, and so you created abroad in your house. What are some of the wishes that you had, or wishes that you would have had when you were younger, of if there's some things you would have liked to have done differently, or something? Do you understand this question?
Well, we can put it in a more plain
simple way. A simple way. Do you have any regrets about your life?
Well, regrets. Well, I think every people has regrets.
Okay.
Of course, now among our reporters, there's one general question. When they finish interviewing someone, they ask, "Would you change your life? Well, something in your life if you had a chance to begin from the first steps?" Well, again, of course, some people say, I would like to. Some people say, even in my interviews, well, I wouldn't change. See, no regrets. But some people do regret. Of course, it's natural, I think.
And so that's a really, really great point. So my question for you, what would you change? Would you change anything, or would you?
Well, I would change perhaps my way of life in my youth. Perhaps I would not go. I would deal more with science, books, and whatnot, culture. But I spent many of my time in my youth on sports, football, running. I like football, hockey.
Yeah.
What I would like to change some things.
More time in the sciences.
Well, since I wanted to be first as a boy. When I was a boy, I wanted to be a fireman.
Pilot.
A pilot.
Yeah.
And then when I came grown up, I thought I want not to be a lawyer because I like truth, honesty. But it happened so that I entered the University of Foreign Languages.
Yeah.
I finished from it now, and even up to these days, I deal with journalism and books, papers, and one more. My dream is that to issue some more books. When last time I think I told you. Then I have a book, Pure on Nature. There are short stories about animals, snakes, birds, and whatnot. Many of the stories were published in different papers, and I put all of them all together, and I want to issue as a book. Besides, to add some more interesting stories into the book and to issue it.
Okay.
And to have it in different languages, in English as well, in American as well, in Japan as well.
We're working on that.
If you don't mind.
Well, I'm working on the English. I'm working on finding the person for that. Okay. Thanks a lot. So, yeah. Then one other thing is, I think, let's have a